Hi, I'm Jeff Stout and I work for Formula North America. Love to show you guys some of our brakes and other features we have coming out for 2015. So the first thing that we have coming out that's new for this year is the Formula CR3 brake. The CR3 brake is rather unique because we're taking the cartridge design that we learned a lot about with our C1 brake, and we're putting that in a new radial style master cylinder where you get a little bit more power and control over the lever blade itself with this new radial style system. The CR3 brake comes with a caliper that actually has oval pistons in it as well, which are a little bit smaller than our RO brake, so that the power is more manageable and not necessarily a full downhill brake. The CR3 would make a great trail or enduro style brake because with those oval pistons you've got more stopping power than a cross-country brake with minimal weight being added. The oval pistons are really nice because they do give you 4 piston stopping power out of a 2-piston system. Another unique feature to the CR3 brakes, as well as the C1 brake that we make for 2015, is that the speed lock will be included stock in those brakes. So now we have a quick disconnect system at the caliper that allows you to disconnect the line in order to run it through an internally routed frame or to travel or all those other ideas that we think of with the disconnecting the caliper. But when you plug the hose back in, it's already bled and ready to use. Grab your brakes, you're off. The last feature that we have on the CR3 brakes, which is cool, is a new lever system called the PLA, or Progressive Lever Adjuster. The Progressive Lever Adjuster has a couple of features going for it, including the tool-free reach adjust, which faces sort of to the side of the bike where it's out of the way and it's not going to get caught on you or your clothing or your buddy's bike when you're unloading it out of the back of your truck. So it's still user-friendly with the tool-free reach adjust, but then you're also able to adjust the angle of the push rod. By adjusting the angle of the push rod, you can change how firm or progressive the lever feels, because when the push rod is at a 90-degree angle to the handlebar, you have the most power and leverage over it, but as the push rod angle starts to decrease to less than 90 degrees, you have something that feels a little bit more progressive and softer that would definitely benefit riders with smaller hands or people just looking for that softer lever feel. For Formula suspension, we've increased the suspension line quite a bit this year with more lightweight offerings as well as longer travel offerings for 27.5-inch wheels and 29-inch wheels. The forks this year will also have an optional remote lockout, which is a very simple rigid hose. You can remove the old lockout lever from the top of the fork and install the new remote lockout system without having to bleed the cartridge or do any other service. Setup is super easy and just takes a couple minutes. Even though the hose is a speedometer type cable from an automobile or a motorcycle, we have designed it to where it can be cut down to shorter lengths so that it looks nice and clean on your handlebars. The remote for the lockout is actually going to be Mixmaster compatible, or will have a separate perch so that if you're running Shimano or other brands of shifters, you're able to put the remote lockout on the handlebar in a way that doesn't interfere with the rest of your cockpit stuff.